Apple CarPlay and Android Auto are undoubtedly the most requested features in a new aftermarket car stereo head unit. But if you're not willing to spend a lot of money on your head unit, there are alternatives out there for you. We found a 7-inch multimedia radio for $89 on Amazon with these features, but is it worth it? Let's find out. Hey, what's up everyone? My name is Josh. I'm with Breakers Stereo and Performance. Welcome to the YouTube channel that reviews, demos, and goes over all the latest in aftermarket auto accessories like car audio, performance, suspension, and more. Because we don't drop stock. And if you're like us, where stock just doesn't cut it, join the Breakers Upgrade Nation and subscribe to this channel. Okay, hit the button, do it now. Now this is a new series we've entitled, Let's Find Out. We'll be taking a look at a variety of products from both extremes, very cheap or very expensive, and we'll be taking a look to see if it's worth the money. So let's find out. Okay, you want to add Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, but you're on a budget, and you found this radio on Amazon for 89 bucks. And the reviews are mixed from this is junk to this is awesome. What do you do? We're gonna answer that question, and I'll do my best to give an unbiased opinion, but no promises. We'll be doing a complete review on this that includes going over all the features, unboxing, powering it up for a full demonstration, and finally, we'll give you our overall opinion. Okay, let's go over the features. This is a 7-inch double DIN radio, wired Apple CarPlay and wired Android Auto. Not only does this have a backup camera input, but comes with a backup camera. Bluetooth for music, streaming, and phone calls. Now this radio does not come with a separate microphone, but has a microphone built into the face of the radio. It also comes with a remote control, and it says 180 watts, and we'll assume that's peak. Okay, you guys ready? Here's the radio. As you expected, it is a plain brown box. So let's see what's actually in this thing. Okay, here is your camera. This is like a free camera you get. You can buy cameras for like 89 bucks. This is 89 bucks and it comes with the camera. All right, we'll see how good this is later. All right, you have your very limited instructions, okay, which are in English, which is good, okay? And then you also have a product manual for your camera as well, okay. These are your main harnesses here and your remote control. All right, so here is the radio itself. So you have your monitor here. You have some buttons here on the side. Your Bluetooth mic is on the top, and then your USB and your auxiliary are here on the bottom. On the back, you have the power harness and then the speaker harness. So your main harness. Okay, so this only has a 2-channel audio output. You actually have 2 video outs, a camera input, and then also a video input. I don't see an audio for your video input, so that's weird. And then you also have your antenna input here, and then it says GPS, but there's actually nothing there. So yeah, so maybe this is a chassis for a bunch of different radios, but there's not a GPS antenna input here. Okay, one more thing before we get to the demonstration. This radio says it is double DIN, but here's what we found out. Here's what we've seen ourselves. Here's what I've read on Amazon, is this radio is actually a little bit taller and wider than a double DIN. So if you're putting this in a kit, you're gonna have some trouble fitting this flush. So as you can see, it doesn't quite fit, okay? Now I have a Pioneer radio right here, and I'll show you that this radio is just gonna slide right in here very nicely, okay? As you can see, no gaps, easy to mount. Whereas you take this radio, all right, and you try to do the same thing and it's just not going in. It's just, I'm struggling here. It's too tall and it's also too wide. Now I'm not saying you can't use this, but you are going to need to modify this kit in order for it to fit nicely in there. So you have to take your file this down, or maybe a little saw, and then get that in there so you're able to get this in there correctly, okay? So that's just something to look out for. Okay, so that is our startup page. Not necessarily aesthetically pleasing, but again, for the money, Okay, here's our radio screen. Let's go to the home page. So here's our home page, and then you have your sources on the bottom, and this surprisingly has a swipe feature, so that's pretty cool. Let's go ahead and go to settings here. All right, so we have our general settings. Here you can select some of your camera inputs, region, scroll down, Bluetooth, reverse, okay? Then you have your calendar here, language selection, wallpaper, so you can either choose this gray background or a black background, and that's it. So you're not gonna be able to upload anything, not surprised. Audio features, just bass and treble is all you have, and loudness. And so I've been messing with this, and I noticed that if you use the loudness, it actually sounds halfway decent, okay? So let's go ahead and play some music. I'm gonna go and plug in my phone real quick, and you also see how the CarPlay works. It does load a little slow, so you can see, and then it's a little glitchy there. Okay, but once it's loaded, what I've noticed is it's okay. So you have your swipe feature here, okay? I'm gonna go ahead and just go into now playing. Okay. Let's go back. Audio. All right, so here we go. Turn the loudness on. Not too bad. So not too bad, it's got decent volume. The sound quality is not bad at all, so pretty good. Okay, so let's continue going through the menu here. Here we have our steering wheel adapter control. Good luck on that. If you can make that work, awesome. LCD, you have your brightness, contrast, saturation, hue, all there. System info, the version of software, I believe, that's running on here. And if you want to reset the factory, you can do that. Your sources here, you have your USB, SD card, radio, Bluetooth, AV-in, aux-in, autoplay, which is going to be your CarPlay, and then your A-Link is your Android Auto. So let's just go ahead and go into Apple CarPlay. Okay, there we go. All right, so like I said earlier, like once we're in, You can go to your music, select from here. Touchscreen, not super responsive, but okay. Scrolling around here, and it's trying to catch up. Trying to go back to the menu. Okay, so there you go. Let's hit that one more time. Let's try to go into some other music apps. All right, so that seems to work okay. All right, so let's go and check out the Android Auto feature. All right, so we'll go ahead and plug that in. All right, there we go. And then we have our main menu here for Android Auto. All right, seems to work fine. Mapping. And then let's just say here. All right, so let's go ahead and use the Google Assist. Directions to the nearest gas station. Okay, seems to be taking a little bit longer than normal. Can't seem to get that to go. Let's just go ahead and search then. Categories, we'll just do anything. Oh, gas stations right there. Let's try again. Directions to the nearest gas station. Well, the mic's picking it up because we can see it type it out on the screen, but it's just not working correctly. All right, and that could be a Android Auto issue that this particular phone is having, not necessarily having anything to do with the radio. All right, so that's pretty much it on the demo. We will take a look at the camera though to see how good that is. So let's go ahead and hook it up. So I have the camera basically right here I'll go ahead and fire up the power to it. Okay, so here's one thing I noticed. There is a reverse mute on or off. I was reading some of the reviews. Someone said that that was one feature they didn't like, but you can actually turn that off. So when you go in reverse, your music will continue to play versus muting it, obviously. So that is our camera. As you can see, we're in our room. There's Sal. Say what's up, Sal. What's up? It's kind of hard to tell if the camera is actually is good or not in this room, but it's definitely a low resolution camera. That much I can tell. And on this camera, you do have these lights that light up, as you can see on the top when you put it in reverse. It's a free camera, so hard to complain about it, right? On the phone calling features, Bluetooth or Android Auto or Apple CarPlay, whatever app you're using or whatever feature you're on, it has the built-in microphone. So the built-in microphone is not going to be as good as an external mic. We did test it in a room here and it seemed to be okay. We did read some reviews online saying the Bluetooth was not that great. In a room, because it's a controlled environment, you're not picking up road noise and it's much quieter in a room than it would obviously be in a car. It's hard to actually judge if it's good or not in our environment. But again, a lot of the reviews online say the Bluetooth function for phone call is not that great. All right, so that'll do it for the demo. Okay, we're gonna take a look at some reviews on this radio across the web because when we're demoing in the room, it's only for a few minutes and it's not in a car environment. So it's tough to get an idea of how things like Bluetooth works when driving around, also how the camera looks during certain parts of the day. Okay, so Amazon has this rating at 3.4 stars, and most of the 1-star reviews state it stops working after a very short time. Either it stopped turning on or the touchscreen stopped working altogether. And all the 5-star reviews say it's a great value. But let's take a look at the chart. 45% of the people are happy and a whopping 28% of the people are not. Now, I personally like to look at the middle reviews to get a good idea on what to actually expect. Most of the middle reviews claim the camera is decent, but the Bluetooth mic is not very good. And most people can tolerate all the glitchiness and how slow it is because of the price. And as expected, many people said they had to modify their stereo kit because the radio was too big. But some guys don't care how it looked and just throw it in. Like my dude Christopher right here, he said he was gonna modify it later for it to fit right. And man, we've been in your shoes, bruh. You got that DIY project going on and it takes a lot more time than expected. So you get it done, but it's not really done. And you'll get around to finishing it up a little bit later. We've all been there. Okay, here's our conclusion. Because this radio is so cheap, it's hard to be super tough on it. It has Apple CarPlay and Android Auto at an unbeatable price. And there's no other radio out there with a 7-inch monitor that we've seen that is less, or at least much less. In our opinion, if it's going in a car that's not worth too much, then we could see a fit for this. You're obviously not going to be putting this in a newer vehicle. Or here's another situation, if you're selling your car and you want to take out your good radio, this could be a good replacement. But if you're trying to compare this against a name brand radio like Alpine, Sony, JVC, Kenwood, or Pioneer, then of course it's not nearly as good, obviously. Okay, we hope we answered this question. Is this $89 Apple CarPlay and Android Auto stereo worth it? It's your call, it's your money, it's your time. Leave your opinion in the comments section below. Okay guys, we hope you enjoyed this video. Let us know what products you'd like us to review for this series entitled Let's Find Out. Make sure to look for us for all your aftermarket automotive needs, especially in car audio, but also includes performance, suspension, accessories, and more because we don't drive stock. Join the Upgrade Nation by subscribing to this channel and make sure you hit that like. Okay, we're done. My name is Josh. I'm with Breaker Stereo and Performance. Thanks for watching, and we will see you guys next time.